Once again, the Israelites sinned against the Lord, and he delivered them into the hands of the Philistines for 40 years. The Philistines oppressed Israel with heavy taxes, harsh treatment, and fear. The people cried out for deliverance, and God had already planned a savior. In the town of Zorah, a man named Manoah and his wife lived without children, for she was barren. One day, the angel of the Lord appeared to Manoah's wife, saying, "You shall conceive and give birth to a son. No razor shall touch his head, for the boy will be a Nazirite, set apart for God from the womb. He will begin to deliver Israel from the Philistines." Manoah's wife bore a son and named him Samson, meaning sunlight. As he grew, the Spirit of the Lord began to stir him in the camp of Dan. His parents raised him carefully, following the angel's instructions. When Samson became a young man, he went to Timnah and saw a Philistine woman who pleased him. Though his parents urged him to marry an Israelite, Samson insisted, for God was using this to create an opportunity against the Philistines. On his way to Timnah, a young lion attacked him. The Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him, and he tore the lion apart with his bare hands. Later, he found a swarm of bees and honey inside the carcass at the wedding feast. Samson challenged the Philistines with a riddle. Out of the eater, something to eat. Out of the strong, something sweet. They could not solve it. The Philistines threatened Samson's bride to force the answer from him. She wept and pleaded until Samson gave in. She told them the secret, and they solved the riddle. Furious at the betrayal, Samson killed 30 Philistines, took their garments, and stormed away. His wife was given to another man. When Samson discovered his wife had been given away, he set out for revenge. He caught 300 foxes, tied their tails together in pairs with torches, and released them into Philistine fields. Their grain, vineyards, and olive groves went up in flames. The Philistines retaliated by burning Samson's wife and her father to death. In anger, Samson struck down many Philistines. This sparked a cycle of revenge between Samson and the Philistines. The Philistines marched into Judah to capture Samson. Afraid, 3,000 men of Judah tied Samson with ropes and handed him over. But the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, and he broke the ropes like burnt thread. Picking up a donkey's jawbone, he killed 1,000 Philistines. He named the place Ramath-Lehi, meaning hill of the jawbone. Exhausted and near death with thirst, Samson cried out to the Lord. God split open a hollow place, and water flowed out. Samson drank and was revived, proving that his strength depended not on himself, but on God. Samson judged Israel for 20 years during the days of Philistine oppression. His fame spread, and the Philistines feared him, for his strength was unmatched and his anger unpredictable. One night Samson went to Gaza and visited a woman there. When the Philistines surrounded the city gates to capture him, he rose at midnight, pulled up the gates with their posts, and carried them to the top of a hill facing Hebron, showing his strength and humiliating his enemies. Samson fell in love with a woman named Delilah in the valley of Sorek. The Philistine rulers offered her silver to discover the secret of his strength. She agreed and began to press Samson for answers. Delilah asked Samson the secret of his strength. He told her lies at first, binding him with fresh bowstrings, then with new ropes, then weaving his hair into a loom. Each time, Samson broke free easily, mocking the Philistines. But Delilah did not give up. Day after day, Delilah nagged him until his soul was weary to death. Finally, he revealed the truth. No razor has ever touched my head, for I am a Nazirite. If my hair is cut, I will lose my strength. Delilah knew he had told her all his heart. Delilah lulled Samson to sleep on her lap, then called a man to shave off the 7 locks of his hair. When the Philistines rushed in, Samson thought he would shake himself free, but the Spirit of the Lord had left him. His strength was gone. The Philistines seized Samson, gouged out his eyes, and bound him with bronze shackles. They set him to grinding grain in the prison of Gaza. Yet, as time passed, his hair began to grow again. The Philistine rulers gathered in the temple of their god Dagon to celebrate Samson's capture. They praised their idol, saying, "Our God has delivered our enemy into our hands." They brought Samson out to entertain them. Blind and humiliated, Samson asked the servant boy to place him between the two central pillars of the temple. He prayed, "O Lord God, remember me, I pray. Strengthen me just once more, that I may take vengeance on the Philistines for my 2 eyes." Samson braced himself against the pillars, right hand on one and left hand on the other. With a final cry, "Let me die with the Philistines," he pushed with all his might. The temple collapsed, killing thousands, including the rulers of the Philistines that in his death, Samson destroyed more enemies than in his life. His family buried him between Zorah and Eshtaol, in the tomb of Manoah his father. Thus ended the story of Samson, Israel's judge for 20 years. Judges chapter 13. And the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord delivered them into the hand of the Philistines 40 years. And there was a certain man of Zorah, of the family of the Danites, whose name was Manoah, and his wife was barren, and bare not. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto the woman, and said unto her, Behold now, thou art barren, and bearest not, but thou shalt conceive, and bear a son. Now therefore beware, I pray thee, and drink not wine nor strong drink, and eat not any unclean thing. For, lo, thou shalt conceive, and bear a son, and no razor shall come on his head. For the child shall be a Nazarite unto God from the womb, and he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of the Philistines. Then the woman came and told her husband, saying, A man of God came unto me, and his countenance was like the countenance of an angel of God, very terrible. But I asked him not whence he was, neither told he me his name. But he said unto me, Behold, thou shalt conceive, and bear a son, and now drink no wine nor strong drink, neither eat any unclean thing. For the child shall be a Nazarite to God from the womb to the day of his death. Then Manoah entreated the Lord, and said, O my Lord, let the man of God which thou didst send come again unto us, and teach us what we shall do unto the child that shall be born. And God hearkened to the voice of Manoah, and the angel of God came again unto the woman as she sat in the field. But Manoah her husband was not with her. And the woman made haste, and ran, and shewed her husband, and said unto him, Behold, the man hath appeared unto me that came unto me the other day. And Manoah arose, and went after his wife, and came to the man, and said unto him, Art thou the man that spakest unto the woman? And he said, I am. And Manoah said, Now let thy words come to pass. How shall we order the child? And how shall we do unto him? And the angel of the Lord said unto Manoah, Of all that I said unto the woman let her beware. She may not eat of anything that cometh of the vine, neither let her drink wine or strong drink, nor eat any unclean thing. All that I commanded her let her observe. And Manoah said unto the angel of the Lord, I pray thee, let us detain thee until we shall have made ready a kid for thee. And the angel of the Lord said unto Manoah, Though thou detain me, I will not eat of thy bread. And if thou wilt offer a burnt offering, thou must offer it unto the Lord. For Manoah knew not that he was an angel of the Lord. And Manoah said unto the angel of the Lord, What is thy name, that when thy sayings come to pass we may do thee honor? And the angel of the Lord said unto him, Why askest thou thus after my name, seeing it is secret? So Manoah took a kid with a meat offering, and offered it upon a rock unto the Lord. And the angel did wondrously, and Manoah and his wife looked on. For it came to pass, when the flame went up toward heaven from off the altar, that the angel of the Lord ascended in the flame of the altar. And Manoah and his wife looked on it, and fell on their faces to the ground. But the angel of the Lord did no more appear to Manoah and to his wife. Then Manoah knew that he was an angel of the Lord. And Manoah said unto his wife, We shall surely die, because we have seen God. But his wife said unto him, If the Lord were pleased to kill us, he would not have received a burnt offering and a meat offering at our hands, neither would he have shewed us all these things, nor would as at this time have told us such things as these. And the woman bare a son, and called his name Samson. And the child grew, and the Lord blessed him. And the Spirit of the Lord began to move him at times in the camp of Dan between Zorah and Eshtaol. Judges chapter 14. And Samson went down to Timnath, and saw a woman in Timnath of the daughters of the Philistines. And he came up, and told his father and his mother, and said, I have seen a woman in Timnath of the daughters of the Philistines. Now therefore get her for me to wife. Then his father and his mother said unto him, Is there never a woman among the daughters of thy brethren, or among all my people, that thou goest to take a wife of the uncircumcised Philistines? And Samson said unto his father, Get her for me, for she pleaseth me well. But his father and his mother knew not that it was of the Lord, that he sought an occasion against the Philistines, for at that time the Philistines had dominion over Israel. Then went Samson down, and his father and his mother, to Timnath, and came to the vineyards of Timnath. And, behold, a young lion roared against him. And the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him. And he rent him as he would have rent a kid, and he had nothing in his hand. But he told not his father or his mother what he had done. And he went down, and talked with the woman, and she pleased Samson well. And after a time he returned to take her, and he turned aside to see the carcass of the lion. And behold, there was a swarm of bees and honey in the carcass of the lion. And he took thereof in his hands, and went on eating, and came to his father and mother, and he gave them, and they did eat. But he told not them that he had taken the honey out of the carcass of the lion. So his father went down unto the woman, and Samson made there a feast, for so used the young men to do. And it came to pass, when they saw him, that they brought 30 companions to be with him. And Samson said unto them, I will now put forth a riddle unto you. If ye can certainly declare it me within the 7 days of the feast, and find it out, then I will give you 30 sheets and 30 change of garments. But if ye cannot declare it me, then shall ye give me 30 sheets and 30 change of garments. And they said unto him, Put forth thy riddle, that we may hear it. And he said unto them, Out of the eater came forth meat, and out of the strong came forth sweetness. And they could not in 3 days expound the riddle. And it came to pass on the 7th day, that they said unto Samson's wife, Entice thy husband, that he may declare unto us the riddle, lest we burn thee and thy father's house with fire. Have ye called us to take that we have? Is it not so? And Samson's wife wept before him, and said, Thou dost but hate me, and lovest me not. Thou hast put forth a riddle unto the children of my people, and hast not told it me. And he said unto her, Behold, I have not told it my father nor my mother, and shall I tell it thee? And she wept before him the 7 days, while their feast lasted. And it came to pass on the 7th day, that he told her, because she lay sore upon him. And she told the riddle to the children of her people. And the men of the city said unto him on the 7th day before the sun went down, What is sweeter than honey? And what is stronger than a lion? And he said unto them, If ye had not plowed with my heifer, ye had not found out my riddle. And the Spirit of the Lord came upon him. And he went down to Ashkelon, and slew 30 men of them, and took their spoil, and gave change of garments unto them which expounded the riddle. And his anger was kindled, and he went up to his father's house. But Samson's wife was given to his companion, whom he had used as his friend. Judges chapter 15. And it came to pass, when she was brought unto him to wife, that he turned aside to see her, and she was not worth to him. And Samson went out, and caught 300 foxes, and took firebrands, and turned tail to tail, and put a firebrand in the midst between 2 tails. And when he had set the brands on fire, he let them go into the standing corn of the Philistines, and burn up both the shocks, and also the standing corn, and the vineyards, and olives. Then the Philistines said, "Who hath done this?" And they answered, "Samson, the son-in-law of the Timnite, because he hath taken his wife, and given her to his companion." And the Philistines came up, and burnt her and her father with fire. And Samson said unto them, "If ye do this, yet will I be avenged of you, and after that I will cease." And he smote them hip and thigh with a great slaughter, and he went down and dwelt in the top of the rock Etam. Then the Philistines went up, and encamped in Judah, and spread themselves in Lehi. And the men of Judah said, "Why are ye come up against us?" And they said, "To bind Samson are we come up, to do to him as he hath done to us." And there went up 3,000 men of Judah to the top of the rock Etam, and said to Samson, "Knowest thou not that the Philistines are rulers over us? And what is this that thou hast done unto us?" And he said unto them, "As they did unto me, so have I done unto them." And they said unto him, "We are come down to bind thee, that we may deliver thee into the hands of the Philistines." And Samson said unto them, "Swear unto me, that ye will not fall upon me yourselves." And they spake unto him, saying, "Nay, but we will surely bind thee, and we will deliver thee into their hand, yet we will surely not kill thee." And they bound him with 2 new cords, and brought him up from the rock. And when he came unto Lehi, the Philistines shouted against him. And the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him, and the cords that were upon his arms became as flax that was burnt with fire, and his bands loosed from off his hands. And he found a new jawbone of an ass, and put forth his hand, and took it, and slew 1,000 men therewith. And Samson said, "With the jawbone of an ass, heaps upon heaps, with the jaw of an ass have I slain 1,000 men." And it came to pass, when he had made an end of speaking, that he cast away the jawbone out of his hand, and called that place Ramath Lehi. And he was sore athirst, and called on the Lord, and said, "Thou hast given this great deliverance into the hand of thy servant, and now shall I die for thirst, and fall into the hand of the uncircumcised." Then God clave an hollow place that was in the jaw, and there came water thereout. And when he had drunk, his spirit came again, and he revived. Therefore the name of it was called En-Hakkore, which is in Lehi unto this day. And he judged Israel in the days of the Philistines 20 years. Judges 16. Then went Samson to Gaza, and saw a harlot there, and went in unto her. And it was told the Gazites, saying, "Samson is come hither." And they compassed him in, and laid wait for him all night in the gate of the city, and were quiet all the night, saying, "In the morning, when it is day, we shall kill him." And Samson lay till midnight, and at midnight he arose, and took the doors of the gate of that city, and the 2 posts, and went away with them, bar and all, and put them upon his shoulders, and carried them up to the top of an hill that is before Hebron. And it came to pass afterward, that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. And the lords of the Philistines came up unto her, and said unto her, "Entice him, and see wherein his great strength lieth, and by what means we may prevail against him, that we may bind him to afflict him. And we will give thee every one of us 1,100 pieces of silver." And Delilah said to Samson, "Tell me, I pray thee, wherein thy great strength lieth, and wherewith thou mightest be bound to afflict thee." And Samson said unto her, "If they bind me with 7 green withs that were never dried, then shall I be weak, and be as another man." Then the lords of the Philistines brought up to her 7 green withs which had not been dried, and she bound him with them. Now there were men lying in wait, abiding in the inner chamber. And she said unto him, "The Philistines be upon thee, Samson." And he brake the withs, as a thread of tow is broken when it toucheth the fire. So his strength was not known. And Delilah said unto Samson, "Behold, thou hast mocked me, and told me lies. Now tell me, I pray thee, wherewith thou mightest be bound." And he said unto her, "If they bind me fast with new ropes that never were occupied, then shall I be weak, and be as another man." Delilah therefore took new ropes, and bound him therewith, and said unto him, The Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And the men lying in wait in the inner chamber were brought upon him, and he brake them from off his arms like a thread. And she said unto him, Hitherto thou hast mocked me, and told me lies. Tell me wherewith thou mightest be bound. And he said unto her, If thou weavest the 7 locks of my head with the web. And she fastened them with the pin, and said unto him, The Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awoke out of his sleep, and pulled up the pins of the loom and the web. And she said unto him, How canst thou say, I love thee, when thine heart is not with me? Thou hast mocked me these 3 times, and hast not told me wherein thy great strength lieth. And it came to pass, when she pressed him daily with her words, and urged him, so that his soul was vexed unto death, that he told her all his heart, and said unto her, There hath not come a razor upon my head, for I have been a Nazarite unto God from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak, and be like any other man. And when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the lords of the Philistines, saying, Come up this once, for he hath shewed me all his heart. Then the lords of the Philistines came up unto her, and brought the money in their hand. And she made him sleep upon her knees. And she called for a man, and she caused him to shave off the 7 locks of his head. And she began to afflict him, and his strength went from him. And she said, The Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awoke out of his sleep, and said, I will go out as at other times before, and shake myself. But he wist not that the Lord was departed from him. Then the Philistines took him, and put out his eyes, and brought him down to Gaza, and bound him with fetters of brass. And he did grind in the prison house. Howbeit the hair of his head began to grow again after he was shaven. And the lords of the Philistines gathered them together for to offer a great sacrifice unto Dagon their god, and to rejoice. For they said, Our God hath delivered Samson our enemy into our hand. And it came to pass, when the people saw him, that they praised their God. For they said, Our God hath delivered our enemy into our hands, even the destroyer of our country, which slew many of us. And it came to pass, when their hearts were merry, that they said, Call for Samson, that he may make us sport. And they called for Samson out of the prison house, and he made them sport, and they set him between the pillars. And Samson said unto the lad that held him by the hand, Suffer me that I may feel the pillars whereupon the house resteth, that I may lean upon them. Now the house was full of men and women, and all the lords of the Philistines were there. And there were about 3,000 men and women on the roof beholding while Samson made sport. And Samson called unto the Lord, and said, O Lord God, remember me, I pray thee, and strengthen me, I pray thee, only this once, O God, that I may be at once avenged of the Philistines for my 2 eyes. And Samson took hold of the 2 middle pillars upon which the house stood, and braced himself against them, one with his right hand, and the other with his left. And Samson said, Let me die with the Philistines. And he bowed himself with all his might, and the house fell upon the lords, and upon all the people that were therein. So the dead which he slew at his death were more than they which he slew in his life. Then his brethren and all the house of his father came down, and took him, and brought him up, and buried him between Zorah and Eshtaol in the burying place of Manoah his father. And he judged Israel 20 years.